evening, entrepreneurs and visionaries. Welcome to another Monday Night Live training, where your journey to business success accelerates. Join us for insights, strategies, and tools to elevate your business while keeping your budget in mind. It's time to transform your passion into profit. Your host, Corey Bill Foster, is about to take the stage. Get ready to be inspired and empowered. The future of your business starts now.
All right, there it goes. I was like, where is the button? But hey guys, how are you all doing? Hopefully you are having a great Monday, a great start to your week. Because that's what it's about. Like I want everybody to see Mondays not as this like doom and gloom of like, oh my gosh, my weekend is over. But the idea that it's a new opportunity, right? It's a fresh start for you to improve, for you to build, for you to accept new challenges head on, and to just have an amazing time, right? We didn't get into business, at least hopefully you didn't get into business to be stressed, to be frustrated, to be angry, to be disappointed. Hopefully you got into business to make a massive impact. And hopefully by this time of the year, right, at this part of your journey, hopefully you're starting to feel that momentum picking up. Hopefully you're starting to see some results, some positive results from the people that you are serving, and hopefully you are ready to make bigger and better moves in your business. So that's my hope for you guys. Like I want to start today with a positive note. Now today's going to be a short day. I feel like we have been really doing well with this topic we've been kind of going through this month about really understanding the importance, right, of collaboration, to understand the need for partnership, to be strategic about the people and the opportunities we want to kind of combine with our brand and our time and our energy. And so today will be no different. We're going to kind of go more over kind of maximizing the impact of these collaborations, because we're not doing it just to kiki with our friends, right? I want you guys to take that idea out of your mind. I think oftentimes it's easier, right? It's easier to do a collaboration or some kind of partnership if it's somebody you're really close with, like a good friend. But sometimes those aren't the best folks. And that's just because maybe you guys don't align when it comes to business, when it comes to audience, when it comes to goals. I have some, we'll call them business besties, that are way beyond where I am, where they service different clientele than I do, and vice versa. There's some really good friends I have that are just not at the same stage I am. Or again, they don't have the right audience, and it's like, well, that's probably not the best partnership for me at this time. And sometimes it's hard, right, to tell your friends, not right now, or you're feeling like, well, let me be safe and work with people I know, versus kind of reaching out to find those really amazing partnership opportunities that are just over the horizon, right? So we're going to work on that. And we're going to encourage you guys to make sure that at the end of each one of these Monday Night Lives, you actually do the weekly challenge, because this will help you kind of get out of your comfort zone and start making moves to better your business, especially when it comes to collaborations and partnerships. But before we dive in, because I like to talk and then I don't have you guys all locked and loaded. So going back to what are we talking about today, kind of how to work with others to maximize impact, your secret weapon to strategic collaborations. That's going to be our topic for today. But before we go any further, I always like to kind of reintroduce myself. I know some of you guys are not new to the IROC world, but some of you are. So hello, I am Corey Bill Foster. I'm a speaker, trainer, certified business coach specializing in implementation. So I'm all about helping amazing entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, speakers, and authors really get things done in business. A lot of you know what to do, but you're not getting it done. So that's where I come in and support you through a lot of our coaching initiatives. But on the other side of our business, we also have a small business marketing firm called IROC Marketable Business Solutions, where we support our amazing clientele from coast to coast with done for you services. So websites, logos, landing pages, social media management, and more. So if you're someone that is looking to kind of build out your team, and you're like, well, who should I work with? Who should I outsource to? Please reach out to us. We'll definitely let you know at the end of this quick talk, how you can do business with us if you wish. But that's just a little bit about us. I always like to do that kind of before we get started, just so everybody knows like who we are, what we do, so that you know you're in the right place. All right, as always, I always like to give you kind of our 3 objectives, because we can even get out on these Monday Night Lives. If you didn't know, every single Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do these talks. And I try my hardest, y'all, my hardest to get you in and out in 30 minutes. I got a little timer going. We're already 6 minutes in, so let's go ahead and dive in. So what are our 3 objectives? One, I want you to understand the benefits of strategic collaborations for kind of expanding your reach and creating value with your current clientele. I also want you to explore different types of partnerships that could possibly elevate and push your brand in your business. And then I want you to learn tips for negotiating partnerships that benefit both parties. We talked about this the last, I think, 2 Mondays about the idea that it has to be a win-win. Like if you're going into these partnerships thinking it's just about me, those tend not to do really well. They don't have the longevity of some amazing partnerships. So we're going to help you get your house in order. All right. So first question of the day, because I like to get your mind thinking, right? It's not just about me talking to you guys. It's really about you kind of looking at yourself, looking at your business, looking at your organization, and thinking like, how can I implement this? How can I support my audience through this? What steps maybe do I need to take, or what gaps are there in my current system to help me better the business? So first question. Have you ever felt like you're doing it all on your own, only to realize that collaborating could unlock bigger opportunities, right? So have you ever felt like you're doing it all on your own, right? And a lot of you are like that. You may not even realize that you've just been out here grinding by yourself, like you against the world. But if you were to take advantage of partnerships, of collaborations, you could really unlock some amazing potential and some amazing opportunities within your business to do some amazing things. So we want you guys to kind of think about that as we go through this talk today. Let me give you a scenario. Imagine teaming up with someone whose strengths complement yours. That's always a plus, right? Helping you to attract new clients while creating more value for your current audience. Wouldn't that be nice? Right? That's what I'm always getting you to think about, because people, I feel, especially when you're kind of new to business and you haven't hit that momentum piece yet, you're always like thinking ahead, like, what if this doesn't work? What if, everything that could go wrong will go wrong? Like, it's always glass half empty. But what if you found a great partnership, a great collaboration, where you were able to hit that goal of attracting new clients to you that maybe you didn't have access to before? And then what if that opportunity also helped you more engaged, right? Give more value to the audience you already had, right? Build up your credibility, help you with sales, help your audience get to the next level that they're trying to get to. Wouldn't that be amazing? So I want us to kind of try to give you a little bit of a mindset check and say, what if all this worked out? What if this was so beneficial for my people? Would I be ready, right? Would I be willing to go out and find these opportunities so that I could have this result? That's what I want you to start thinking about. Here's another question for you to ponder, right? Why should you consider collaborating with others? Because I could give you reason after reason after reason after reason and after reason, but if you aren't convinced within yourself, right? If you're not thinking like, at least for me, let's back up. For me, when I go to events or workshops or what have you, if somebody says something that sparks my interest, or that I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that, I'm automatically thinking like, how can I do that in my business, right? So we've been talking about collaboration. We've been talking about partnerships. Have you stopped to be like, how can I do this in my business? Like, how could I take this and really do something with it? Like, why? Because the thing is, if you don't know why you would do it, you don't care, right? You're just not. You're like, well, if it don't mean nothing to you, you're not going to spend any time on it. But this isn't just something easy that is just going to be like a fly-by-night thing. This is going to take work. And so if you don't understand the purpose behind it, and in a personal connection, right? Not just like, oh, yes, entrepreneurs should collaborate and have partnerships. But no, why should you, your brand, your business, your organization, why should you all consider collaborating with others? How would it benefit you? how to benefit your brand, your audience. If you don't have that why, you're more than likely not going to take the time to have the energy to go out and find these amazing partnerships and collaborations. So this is definitely a question I would have you ask. It's not always about, your why for why you're in business. Like, that's great to have too, but sometimes we have to take the little pieces of business, right? This is just collaborations and partnerships, and have a why just for that to really help propel us to get this work done, to actually land these amazing collaborations and partnerships. All right, so let's dive into the meat of this. Why are we doing this, right? What are the benefits of strategic collaborations? Well, one, they can expand your reach. Sometimes, I don't know if any of you have ever sold like Avon or Mary Kay, any of those kinds of businesses. I was recently speaking to someone a couple weeks ago who sold Mary Kay. I used to sell it back in the day. I was a Mary Kay consultant, and she was saying how she's maxed out on her people. Like, she's already done like a little, facial party for her close friends, church folks, her friends, cousins, aunties, like everybody. And she's now out of her own community. Oftentimes with us, we may do pretty good early on in our business because we're talking to all of our network. At least I'm hoping you are talking to your network, talking to your friends, family, what have you. But eventually you run out of people you know. And sometimes you run out of people that that they know, you know what I mean? Like the next level. And so when you do find some amazing collaborations and partnerships, it can allow you to tap into a audience, a network of folks, a community that you may never have had access to, right? So it's allowing you to showcase yourself, your amazing skills, your skill set, your capabilities, your offers, all of the things, the value that you bring to an audience that, again, you may not have had access to before. And that is an amazing thing to have, especially in a partnership environment where it's not taking you tons of coins, or you're not just, just somebody that's in the background. Like, you are up in the forefront. This is a partnership where both you and the other organization can shine. And it's just an amazing experience. If you have not done a partnership in which you are able to really leverage someone else's audience, get on it. It's an amazing thing, and it is you for the work you're doing, right? So say, for instance, you decide to do a master class or a workshop with somebody. A lot of times what you're training is stuff you've already had. So it's not you taking tons of time to put something new together. You may, adjust it a bit here for that particular audience, for that particular event, but you're not doing nothing crazy, right? So not a lot of time investment. You decide to have the event, maybe hour for your presentation. Maybe you're going to do a Q&A for half an hour. So, 2 hours, we're going to say, because you get a little on the front end and the back end. 2 hours of your life. Don't take a lot of prep time. And maybe you have 5,000 people that's in your network. And maybe the other person you're working with has 5,000 people in their network, right? They don't know you on that side. They don't know the other person you're collaborating with on your side. Wouldn't it be nice, even if everybody doesn't show up, right, to the event, right? Everybody in your audience is not going to show up to anybody's event. But let's say 100 people from each of your sides show up to the event. 200 people come to this workshop. But you did email marketing, you did social media marketing, you did a podcast together. So not just the people that got to be at that one event saw you, but let's say 500 to 1,000 people now who've never known you before, now have heard about you, your brand, they know about your expertise, they've seen the marketing emails, they've seen the podcast or the YouTube show, what have you. And now people who, again, never knew your name, never heard of your brand, they may have followed you on social media, they may have joined your email list, they may have bought a product, anything like that. Those are all opportunities that came from that partnership or collaboration that really expanded your reach just by you guys sharing a stage, right? Whether it's in person or virtual. You also have enhanced credibility, especially for our newer entrepreneurs. And it doesn't mean you're new to what you do, but new to business, right? A lot of times you're building up your audience. You're building up the understanding of people knowing, building up your awareness, like people knowing that you exist. Well, when you partner with another brand that people already know, like, and trust, it builds up your credibility, right? That's why it's important to be featured in other people's work, whether it's a magazine, whether it's a newsletter, whether it's a guest blog, whether you're on somebody else's podcast, radio, what have you. Features are important because it says, it's not me saying I'm amazing, it's other people kind of co-signing and saying, hey, this person's pretty amazing as well. And that's what you want to do. Because think about it. If you were looking for, let's say you're looking for a barber, right? And you go and just kind of look online, you're like, okay, there's a couple of barbers in my area. They all 4.5 out of 5. Nobody said anything crazy. The price range is pretty similar. You're like, okay, I guess I'll pick one. However, if you talk to your friend and say, hey, I'm looking for a barber, and they say, I got an amazing barber. They're near you, price is pretty good, like they get you in and out. Are you going to kind of roll the dice on these folks? Or are you going to just say yes to your friend's barber? You're going to say yes to your friend's barber because you already know from somebody you trust that they're amazing. Same thing happens with partnerships and collaborations. By you being affiliated with a brand or organization that somebody else has already known of, who they already believe is, a real business, trustworthy, all that, it builds your credibility up as well. And then increase value. When you do things within your business, right? When you show up and show out, whether you're speaking, doing workshops, what have you, you are able to take that content and one, give value to the people who are there, but also you then have content for marketing. You have behind the scenes. You have you actually sharing little insights before the event. You sharing insights after the event. There's so much value that comes out of you having these partnerships, not just in the idea of you that one collaboration, you're giving something, but all the things around it. When people see that you are booked and busy and doing the things you say you do, they're like, oh, that's amazing. And when they even if they're just getting a post and they're reading the caption, they're learning something, they're engaged, they're thinking about something that relates to your business. That is giving you value and giving your audience value as well. So those are all amazing benefits of just having the right collaborations and partnerships. Let me give you another question. What kind of partnerships are right for your business? This is another thing. So if you know why you want to have these partnerships, right? Whether it's to increase your credibility, whether it's to expand your reach, whether it's just to give more value, you have your why. But then you go and say, well, okay, based on my why, right, my goal, who should I be partnering with? Right? Because that's the next thing. Who should I be partnering with? How should I be partnering with them? Because it has to be the right fit. We talked a little bit about alignment last week. And it really does matter. We can't just be out here kind of willy-nilly these opportunities. They have to make sense for our goal, for the other person's goal as well, and really make sure that we are doing things that are in line with kind of where the business is going and how it's structured. So let's dive into that a little bit more, okay? All right, so what types of partnerships or collaborations are we going to be considering? Well, there's co-marketing partnerships, right? In these type of partnerships, you're sharing resources to make sure that each other's products or services are kind of put out to the audience, right? So now in this, you could be doing an event together, but you could just say, hey, we're going to share each other's stuff. We're going to, give these things to our community. And so you're going to share in the marketing of it. I mentioned, I think it was last week or the week before, I talked about like people who get together to do a book and they all put money in it. A lot of times that money is to market the book, right? And so you're sharing the burden of paying for the marketing so that it gets out to more people. Because if you got $500, that may not get you far. But if you got 3 people with $500, you got $1,500 to do a little something, right? So co-marketing partnerships are great. You got joint venture collaborations. These are specific to like one project or, like one cluster of projects. These could be like you're joining together to do a course, a webinar, a challenge, a masterclass. You are working together in conjunction to produce an event, not necessarily a product, but it could be. It just depends on how you're doing it. And then you got just referral partners. I have some people that send me referrals that I just give a commission to, and vice versa, right? We ain't got no ongoing like big projects we're doing. It's just like, hey, I'll refer people to you for this, and then I'm saying, hey, I'll refer people to you for that. And it's kind of like I scratch your back, you scratch mine, because there are always going to be people who just aren't the best fit for you, right? They may not be ready for what you're doing. They may be past where you are. They may not have a budget for you. They may need something a little different than what you provide. And that's where referral partners are amazing. Because like for instance, I have a referral partner that does business plans, right? Helps people with that part. Now, it's not that I can't do a business plan. And for some of my coaching clients, if they get with me and they don't have one, we will make it work. But if you are at the very, very beginning of your business, if you haven't even gotten your EIN, you don't even know if you're going to be an LLC, S Corp, whatever. I'm like, you know what? It may be more beneficial for you to go over here and have somebody who really specializes in those beginning steps to get you situated legally. So then by the time you get to me, we can start, working with the strategy to actually get all the things done, right? You already kind of went through your goal setting and all that. Now we are ready to get moving and cracking. That's a referral partner. So that's something to think about. You could also think about people who service your audience, but definitely not in the same way. So if I refer people to my tax professionals, my financial advisors, my event coordinators, actually on my website, there is a list it's called Meet Our Experts. And there are literally experts up there that we're like, hey, go to them for these things. Go over here, go over there. Because we don't do that work, and we want to make sure you get to people that I know can do a great job. And that's something you can start building out is your referral partners. And you have to negotiate with each one separately. I would tell you to probably get something together, like a template of kind of what what your partnerships look like. It could be, hey, I give a kickback of 5%. I don't really put in mind like how many. I don't commit to like I'm going to send you this many people per quarter, nothing like that. It's just like, hey, this is what I sell. This is like, what I do, who I serve, so that they know. And if you send people, whether it's for a particular offer or it's for just like a general consultation, if they sign on, this is what that compensation looks like. Keep it simple. And you may have to tweak it because like if you have some high-end things and some low-end things, the compensation may not be the same. And that's okay. Okay, I just want to be clear. That is okay. All right. So how do you ensure both parties benefit from a collaboration or a partnership? And this is something that I harp on a lot because this allows you to have that longevity. It takes a lot of work to find really great partners and collaboration opportunities. Like you're not just jumping in, mid with each other type thing. You're really feeling each other out. You're building up a rapport. You're, spending a lot of time figuring out how you can help each other. All these things, actually doing the thing or, putting the program together. I don't want to do that and then us never talk to each other again. I want to know that, hey, maybe once a year we do something together. Maybe if this went well, maybe we can do some additional things together. Like that's what I want. I want that longevity, that sustainability of these partnerships and collaborations. But that can't happen if you're going into these situations thinking about just yourself, right? It has to be that everybody is going to win. So how do we kind of set ourselves up for success with this, right? So clarifying your goals. You got to have a conversation and be honest. Be honest. Don't make it like a secretive thing. Like you got your own goal, they got their own goal. Like, no. What is the goal of this collaboration or this partnership? Period. There has to be a goal and it has to make sense. So yes, I like SMART goals, but it's because it has to make sense. You can't, if you have 100 people that are following you on social media and 100 people on your email list and they have the same, you can't say, well, you could if you want, but it's not going to make sense to be like, when we're done, we're going to have 10,000 people on our email list. Like, you're both starting out pretty small. It may make more sense to say, well, we're going to have at least 100 more people from this thing, or, maybe 200 people. But you have to be honest about, what project you're doing together and what the goal of this is for both of you. Then define the roles, because very seldom are things exactly 50-50. But one thing I won't do is do a whole bunch of work for somebody else to get benefit. So even if, like for me, I do a lot of marketing. So that's a big chunk off of somebody else's plate if we do something jointly together. However, I'm going to be expecting you to do something else. Like, if I take care of marketing, you best be doing something else, or, possibly kicking in additional costs to cover it. Or maybe you're gonna find speakers. Maybe we're doing an event together. You're gonna take care of all the logistics if I'm taking care of the marketing. But we gotta have defined roles, right? They need to be written down, clear responsibilities with dates of when things are supposed to get done and who's taking care of them. Because oftentimes, even when you do collaborations, you may have team members doing things for you, and they may have team members. You guys need to know who is doing what. Who do I contact if something isn't done or what have you? Like, how is this stuff going to be taken care of? Who is the contact person? When and how do I contact them to make sure I have what I need, and vice versa? And then communicate value, right? So ensure that there is going to be, again, that mutual benefit, that balance and understanding that things will be fair between the parties involved, and that everyone should leave happy and feeling like, they did their part and everybody else did their part as well. If you can kind of get these three things nailed down as early as possible, you're more likely to have a great experience. You're not going to always hit your goal 100%. You're not going to, there may be times, I should say, where roles may need to be adjusted, but that's all about communication. But if you go into it at least with these three things in mind, like I said, you have a place to start and to build from. All right, so we went through our three objectives. Like I said, I was going to get you in and out today. I think I did good. We're at 27-ish minutes. But hopefully you guys understand. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I think you guys, at least hopefully by now, understand the importance of collaboration and partnerships. You understand now a little bit more about why you should be doing collaboration and partnerships, but also some things to keep in mind to make sure that you're going to have a better chance of success. So what is your task for this week? This week, I want you to identify one potential collaborator within your network. Reach out to them with a specific idea for a partnership or collaboration and outline the mutual benefits, right? This is what you need. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip here. If you use AI, ChatGPT, or all her cousins, you can put in information about your business. You can put information about your goals, and then you could throw this in here like, hey, I've been given this challenge this week. Copy it in there, and then it should give you some ideas of types of people you can reach out to. And then you could just go look in your network to see if you know somebody like that. It could be like, connect with a lawyer, connect with this, connect with that. And then you can say, now you have ideas for what you want to say. This should not be a 5-paragraph essay. This should be something short and sweet. If you have their email address, send it that way. If you need to text. If you need to DM. Like, these people already know you. So communicate the way you've been communicating with them. Get to the point. Let them know what you want to do. If you know, like, around the time period, like, concise, detailed information. This is what I would like to do. This is what I think would be good for both of us. This is how it can be mutually beneficial. Love to get you on a call to discuss details if you're interested. Short and sweet. Do at least one this week. Look, if you want to be an overachiever, do several. But I encourage you to do so. Also, it's not too late to join the Sprint Implementation Lab. It'll be June 21st, 22nd. It is completely virtual. Guys, there are limited seats. I talked about that before, limited seats, because I want to make sure you all get the attention that you need to make sure that when we are done with our 2 days of this intensive, you have completed your entire workbook, and you understand how to think through your offer, what assets you need and what those to be included, all about your messaging, your target audience, and you have a plan to actually put this offer on the market. If you go to the landing page for this offer, it actually lets you know that on top of the intensive, you can also get some additional support, whether it be group support, which is a 3-month kind of membership, to get more feedback and to have someone be able to look and give you any additional help you need to get that offer launched. But then you can also do one-on-one on top of the intensive that will allow you to actually work with me and actually implement all the things that you create in the implementation lab. So spots are still open. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to message me, email me, what have you, because we want to make sure that this summer does not pass you, right? This quarter does not pass you without you having your, amazing offer, your high ticket offer, your signature offer that you can now put to market and give your audience the value that they deserve. Okay. All right. And if you are sitting here and you're like, that's cool, but I still need other support, as always, you can book a free coffee chat. I always leave this slide up here for you guys. And shout out to you guys to take advantage of it. I have a few of these a week. But yes, definitely come up there. It's very low pressure. It's very much like, hey, tell me what's going on with your business, where you're struggling. I try to give you some insight, some advice on the call. If me and my team can support you, I'll let you know that, but it is not like a pushy sales call at all. So feel free to always use this link. It's open year round. I try to make sure there's several dates and times available every single month for these free virtual coffee chats. But guys, that is it for today. If you are interested in the implementation lab, you'll be able to see that link in the description of this live. But that is it. So I will see you guys next week for another Monday Night Live. Talk to you guys soon. In the journey of entrepreneurship, success is often about having the right guidance and tools at your fingertips. Welcome to IROC Marketable Business Solutions, your compass to business excellence. We understand that as a service-based small business owner, your path to success is unique. That's why IROC offers a wide range of coaching and consulting services tailored to your needs. Imagine gaining the knowledge you need from